Hey Dorchester, welcome to episode 2 of season 3 of Life. We've got a great show for you this week. We are obviously starting out the week with Bill Forry from the Dorchester Reporter. Some great headlines there, a lot of development happening in Dorchester that we're going to talk about. And then we have a conversation with Richie Parsons about cannabis in Dorchester. He's opening a new cannabis shop on Gallivan Boulevard called Surfs Up, and we are excited to both see the inside and talk to Richie about the excitement of opening a shop here in Adams Village. And finally, we have a fantastic Tiny Deck concert from Melo Green, who came in from Rhode Island and is going to perform his original work on his gorgeous guitar. So thank you so much for joining. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to Dot Life. We are here with Bill Forry at the Record Co. this week. Hey, Bill.
Hey, thanks for having me over.
You got a little smudge on your head.
I do. Yep, it's staying on. This is we're taping this on a Wednesday, if you can't tell, Ash Wednesday. So, thanks for indulging me.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you.
I usually clean up a little bit before the show, not today.
Did you do anything for Fat Tuesday? Did you have pancakes or anything?
We did not. My dad did that. I know that's an Irish tradition too,
okay.
Apparently. But no, we had kind of a Fat Tuesday party. Our neighbors threw a Mardi Gras theme party over the weekend, so kind of get that out of our system. Recovered well enough now to be to celebrate Ash Wednesday in a dignified manner, I hope.
Have you ever been to Mardi Gras?
I've been to
Mardi Gras?
No, I've been to New Orleans on St. Patrick's Day though. I'd have to think that was maybe the second craziest day of the year there. Fun city.
Yeah.
Made it out and live to tell about it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But we won't ask about
That's
it.
all I'm going to tell you about it. It was a long time ago, but it was a good time. It's wild. I mean,
New Orleans every day is wild, so I can't imagine what.
It's been crazy this week. Apparently, there's already been one notable arrest. If you saw that,
no, I didn't see it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I did. That was at Mardi Gras. Oh,
he's been terrorizing New Orleans for the last few days, and ended up getting himself arrested. So hopefully he's okay. But
yeah, well,
not the only one probably getting arrested.
No, I'm sure. Maybe the most high profile though. You watching the Olympics?
I'm watching it here and there. I've been watching curling.
I watched curling
for whatever reason. That's all
that's
on when I'm turning on the television.
And you're like, this is so boring, but so mesmerizing.
For some reason, can't stop watching it, and I'm good with that. It's a new sport for me. I hadn't ever paid attention to it before.
No?
This year, it just seems to be on a lot. Am I crazy? Is that like a new thing this year?
It isn't for me because all day I'm at work, so I'm just like tuned out. But at night, I'll try to like pick the highlights and things. You know, the male figure skater, was it?
Yeah, I saw that he had a bad routine and went down a few times. That's crazy.
Poor guy. Yeah.
But USA women's hockey is playing tomorrow.
Hockey rocks, yeah.
And their gold medal game against Canada. So I'm guessing that's a rematch from the last Olympics, I think.
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't follow women's hockey that much. I should, but I don't. But men's hockey is they just did the quarterfinals today, I think. So it'll be, 2 more days probably?
Yeah, I think it's on Sunday.
Okay.
But
exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying what I've seen of it. Seeing the Nordic combined or whatever, that was kind of fun. And I keep seeing this dog running alongside the skiers.
There's been so many dogs.
This is an Italian thing, I'm guessing.
So. Yeah, wild dogs.
Yeah, so it's been fun. I actually, I wasn't expecting to watch as much Olympics as I've been watching, and I don't know, maybe we're still in NFL withdrawal or something, and waiting for the. It was All-Star Weekend for basketball, so that's
was it? Okay.
That's not really my big thing.
Yeah. How long is that break? 2 weeks?
No, that's just like the long weekend.
Okay.
So they should be back at it.
Because NHL is in break, obviously, because of...
Well, all their players are over in Italy, right?
All of the Bruins players are. There's
Pretty much.
7 of them on the team or something.
Nice.
Yeah. I think we only had 3 from Buffalo. But Tage Thompson's having a great... And Rasmus, he might be the MVP.
I'm going to have to get back to you on the NHL side. I'm not really following that.
Okay.
But good luck.
Thanks. Same to you.
Thanks.
All right. Let's dive into it. So we've got a few stories to go through this week. We've got a new dual language program. We've got some interesting news about UMass. And,
UMass kids going through it this week with the burst pipe, and we'll get to that. But
And we got 3 construction projects we want to talk about. So you want to start with Cape Verdean program?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is a story that Seth Daniel did before he deserted us for the Caribbean this week on his February break.
How dare he?
And I hope he's having a great time. And if he's listening to this podcast, I'm going to be very disappointed. He should be on a beach, not listening to anything from work related. But before he left us, he filed a story, which actually got picked up by some other news outlets today. Good to see. And it's the first ever Cape Verdean Creole English language program that's going to open pretty much, from what Seth reported, anywhere in the world.
First ever, even including in Cape Verde.
Right, because in Cape Verde, the official language is Portuguese, and the Creole language is not taught and instructed in the schools. It's just what everyone speaks. It's kind of like that in Haiti, too, where French is the official language and Haitian Creole is what 99% of people speak, but it's not like
official.
It wasn't for a long time. And that's apparently the same in Cape Verde. And here in Boston, this has been something that Cape Verdean educators and activists have been asking for a long time, to have a dual language program. It's not a bilingual program per se, but dual language, meaning like in a classroom, 10 of the kids are instructed in Cape Verdean Creole and 10 in English, and then they switch.
That seems like a really immersive way to learn a language.
It is.
Really great.
And they started at kindergarten 1. In this is what's going to begin this later this year at what is the Frederick School on Columbia Road, which many people will know technically closed under its current model and is reopening in the fall of 2026 with new other schools that merged moving into there. And this will be the first time they're offering this program. It's based on a program that's worked very well in Mattapan with the Haitian community, the Toussaint Louverture program that's out of the Mattapan School. So it's roughly modeled on that. Okay. But what's interesting is that for maybe 20, 30 years now, Cape Verdean educators within the BPS system and others, activists, have been saying this is what we should be doing for our kids who are, whether they're new Americans or they've just been immersed in a predominantly Creole-speaking home until they go to school, that this would be the best way for them to learn. So the program's launching with a classroom of 20 students. They're currently, enrolling and taking, answering questions from interested parents and families. So you can learn more about it by reading Seth's article, obviously, or you can go to the BPS website and scout that out. It's, again, the Lilla G. Frederick School, which is on Columbia Road. And, it should be very interesting. I think they're trying to get the word out, which is why they came to the reporter and Seth and said, can you do this story? Yeah. Because they're just not sure of the demand. They're not sure how many first-year students, families they'll get involved in this. But from the BPS point of view, too, as Seth mentions, they've been seeing this decline in enrollment in communities, especially communities like Dorchester, Roxbury, where the Cape Verdean population is strongest. They're really trying to reclaim some of them from the charters.
But they're seeing a decline in enrollment across the entire BPS system, right?
Yes. But they're looking for ways to counter that.
Yeah. I read something this week, and it was on Instagram, so I don't know if it's true or not, but they're laying off like 300, or they're cutting 350 jobs in BPS,
yes,
or something like that, which is insane.
Unfortunately, that's not a rumor. We have a story about it too this week. WBUR reported on, one of our news partners, and Yahoo Miller reported on it, and Seth recently. This has been coming because BPS has seen that drop in enrollment. And
Seth has reported on schools closing too, which
we have a few. We have a few closing in Dorchester, including, the upper campus of the Henderson School, the upper grades, and their inclusion program. So unfortunately, those are the schools that are going to be impacted with the job cuts that were reported most recently last week in front of the school committee. So this is a good news story in one sense, but it's also reflective of BPS trying to really figure out new strategies to recruit and retain students. And over time, this might grow into a much bigger cohort of kids. It's starting with 20, but they're going to add grades each year over the next 6-7 years, apparently, in this Frederick School, and then see how it goes.
What's the do you have a sense of the Cape Verdean population in Dorchester?
In Dorchester alone, it's probably nearing 10,000. It's if you include it's borderline with that Dudley Street Triangle, Roxbury. There's a big Cape Verdean population outside of Boston too, of course, in Brockton and points south into Providence. But Dorchester, Upham's Corner, the Dudley Street Triangle, and Bowdoin, Geneva have always kind of been the heart of the Boston Cape Verdean community, and that's still the case today.
Okay.
So this school is well located for that population.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're going to shift some gears here to college students, and this story reminded me of one particular person, and that is John Forry.
Yeah, I was thinking of him. He's been
flooded
flooded out of a dorm room.
Not at UMass.
No, he's at Boston College. He got flooded out of his freshman year dorm room, and then he got flooded out of his junior year off-campus apartment. And I'm like, how does this keep happening to you?
Yeah.
But John lucked out in that he was able to get quick accommodations in the first case, and he did lose a few things, but they reimbursed him. BC was really good about it.
Yeah.
What's happened here at UMass Boston has affected many more students. There's 600 young people, mostly freshmen, because it's a freshman dorm situation over there. Last Monday, I think February 2nd, was it?
Okay.
They had a major pipe burst
on the 10th floor.
The 10th floor of their dorm.
Do you think it's cold related? Or
I think it was cold related, but it ended up being so dramatic that the entire building had to be shut down and remains shut down in terms of the students. 600 of them have been displaced. Now, some of them have been able to go back in and get their belongings out, and they've been relocated to other UMass-related housing elsewhere. Most of them in Newton, which is quite a hike. They do have a shuttle bus running, but if they're taking the T, it's like a 2-hour ride.
Yeah.
And others have been relocated into like the Doubletree Hotel, which is on Columbia Point, so that's an easy walk. And others have just kind of gone home, apparently. So
that's crazy.
It's been an ordeal over the last week. And the problem is they haven't been able to bring them back in because it's the fire suppression system that got impacted by this. I think that's what broke.
50 rooms were actually flooded, right? Or like
badly
damaged.
Or damaged enough that they can take some time to fix it. But they haven't been able to get the water suppression back on.
Okay.
So they can't occupy the building as a result.
Of course.
I guess they have started to reuse the cafeteria that's on the first floor.
Okay.
But they can't have anybody living in it until they get that fixed. So it's a mess. And we had a reporter go by this week to check it out, talk to some of the students. The reporter's name is Kelly Broder, and she came back with kids who were feeling pretty upset about the way they've been displaced, but also like didn't feel like they got taken care of the way they hoped for, and they're still pretty frustrated. The silver lining to it was some of the on-campus student groups did step up and organize like clothes drives and helped even house some of their friends while they were dealing with it, or as they're dealing with it, because it's still going on.
And like bedding and things too, right? Like these kids don't have basic things that they had to leave.
They had to leave all their stuff in there for a few days, and then they were allowed to go back in and get personal items and stuff. But in many cases, their stuff was ruined too. So it's a mess. And look, these things happen. UMass Boston, it's not, as you just mentioned, BC has had these issues too. But unfortunately, this is their a 600 person building that's offline suddenly, and a bit of a disruption for the campus.
Any idea when it'll be inhabitable?
UMass has a page up where they're updating it pretty much daily with reports. So I have to say, I think they're doing a good job communicating that to the students.
Yeah.
But no, they haven't said definitively, because I still don't think they have a firm handle on when it can reopen. I'm sure that the bulk of those kids will be back in once fire suppression is fixed, but unfortunately a good chunk of them probably won't with the damage done.
All right, well, we'll stay in this area, maybe go across Morrissey over to Savin Hill for a couple of stories here. So we've got one about 93 is going to have some disruption for the next 2 years. And nobody's happy about it.
Well, this happened while we were on hiatus from .life for a few weeks. So this is going back a few weeks now for people who are following this in our pages, but it's still the case that people in Columbia Savin Hill were really surprised. No one in that neighborhood really knew this was coming until, frankly, it was reported first by State House News Service, and then we picked that up, that this is a project to fix basically the 93 stretch right by the exit at Columbia Savin Hill. So basically from like the old South Line or the old Globe building at South Line up to and past JFK UMass Station. So
here,
basically right by where we are now at the Record Co.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-year project, and because of it's obviously the highway, it's it's not a low vehicle count daily there. They have to do this work overnight. So it's going to start like at 11 p.m. most nights and go overnight at the off-peak hours.
Which we want, because we don't want the highway to be jammed at rush hour or
right.
Every time is
but
rush
that's
hour.
also when the people who live next to us here in Hub 25 or the three-deckers on the other side on Sydney Street, they're definitely going to hear it, feel it.
Hey, Melissa, I hope you're listening.
Yeah. So this came up at the Columbia Savin Hill meeting earlier this month, in January actually.
Yeah.
And people were pretty pissed off. They were like, wait a minute, first of all, we didn't know this was coming. Why didn't we know this was coming?
So how did they not know? Because Dan Hunt, Representative Dan Hunt says he was surprised too, right? But it was 10 years in the making? So how?
Well, I think he was aware, and people who are working in government, obviously more plugged in at the State House level, probably had an awareness that this would eventually come up.
Yeah.
But it was a surprise to like everybody that the Mass Highway Board approved it like in, I think, December, and then it's going to start this spring, like in April. After the snow melts, presumably they're going to get going on it. Is it going to melt? It's going to melt? I think we can be sure it's going to melt eventually, but not this weekend.
No.
But it's just something that, people are like, wait a minute, can we talk about this?
Yeah, right.
Wait, this is 2 years, it's going to be heavy equipment, like
all night long.
And one of the abutters that's really concerned is the charter school right along Sydney Street. Boston Collegiate, I believe.
Okay.
And they said, well, we had no idea about this either, and they're going to lose some parking over it because it's state controlled land that they've been leasing, and they needed to stage the equipment. So it's also going to be complicating things for the school and the neighbors along that stretch, like Sydney Street and the side streets off Columbia Savin Hill there.
Yeah. So this will start in April, and they are trying to kind of address the 10 to 4 closure, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. closure, but they're
not making any promises though. Like Dan Hunt and Nick Collins were both at the meeting, said, look, we'll do our best, but
the alternative is also going to be extremely disruptive to probably more people. So yeah,
it's a tricky situation.
It sure is.
I mean, folks who there's not many people around anymore who remember life in Dorchester without the Southeast Expressway elevated over our heads. But there was a time when we didn't have that, and we weren't walled off from the beaches and the sea. But it is what it is. There's a big highway that's got to get fixed, and the bridges, the off ramps as well, are also part of this project.
Do you know what's wrong? Is it just
they're old,
deteriorating?
Yeah, I mean, this thing was built in the 1950s.
Yeah,
and they've been repaired occasionally, but it is a public safety issue. They have to fix some of the steel girders and the underpinnings, and basically repave that whole stretch.
Okay.
So, it's got to get done, and it will get done, and it's more kind of like maybe the community might find a way to get the state highway officials to do something else they want done.
In return for,
maybe Marcy Boulevard, maybe Kosciuszko
nice,
Circle. I think that's another annoyance to folks. It's just like these things feel like they're happening, like they just get dropped and there's no sequence and there's no like coherence to why are we doing this now and when are we going to fix the rotary? So these are big public projects. They're complicated, but it's going to be inconvenience for sure.
They had another construction project that was this also while we were on break? I think it was.
When you were on break, like everything happened. But one of them was there's a property on East Cottage Street by Dorchester Ave that is called the Little House. And it looks like a church. It was at one point. It was a settlement house back. It's like a 100-year-old property.
Okay.
And the new owner of it wants to take it down, raise it along with another property next door, and build a 6-story building that would house a hotel, like a boutique hotel, and a restaurant space. And his name is Adam Sarbaugh. He also built the brand new building that's right at the corner of Dorchester Ave and East Cottage, which has condos and a restaurant space and the Dorchester Market.
What's the restaurant?
There is no restaurant yet.
Oh,
And
really? Okay.
part of what he wants to do with this new proposal at the Little House site is create space that would be, I guess, connected to that building, and have a roof deck space, like lounge for the hotel and for diners.
Roof decks are a point of contention in my experience.
Yeah.
People think that, like, if you're going to have a roof deck, you're going to have parties.
I mean, I'd have parties if I had a roof deck. That's for damn sure. And I might someday. Just warning my neighbors now. They probably already know. But you're right; they can be an issue. But the larger issues that were raised against this idea, and by the way, it hasn't been approved yet. This is a proposal, but
he bought this property like 4 years ago, though. So he's been trying to find a good fit.
He has,
Allegedly,
and he said he went to other like the local charter schools and said maybe you could use this building as your gym.
Yeah.
It's an older building. It's most recently housed the Dot Art Project, and Columbia Savin Hill Civic used to have their meetings in there. Used to be in the Little House all the time for that. But a lot of people in the 60s, 70s, 80s grew up there playing kickball and wiffle ball or whatever, floor hockey at the Little House. Marty Walsh was a big Little House guy. Frank Baker, that part of the neighborhood used it heavily. That was like their youth center year round. So a lot of good memories for folks in the building. But Adam Sarbaugh has bigger plans for this. He thinks that this will basically be a extended stay kind of hotel, almost like an Airbnb collection.
But like, oh, really? So it won't be like managed by like a hotel property. It's kind of like one-off units.
I think that it's going to be managed like a hotel. It'll have to get a hotelier license actually. So, but the concept is more folks who come in town for a week or more. There's a lot of people obviously, renting out units in Dorchester, in that part of the city. It's close to the T, it's close to downtown, and it's more affordable than staying maybe in the city, center. So his argument is that there's a market for this, and there really isn't anything quite like it around in Dorchester now.
I don't hate the idea of it. When my family all comes to visit at the same time, it actually can be tough to fit them all in my house. So my sister will often get an Airbnb, and they have to stay in like Quincy. There's not good options in our area.
And we lost a hotel on the Ramada Inn on Morrissey, which was an option, and it's now been converted into transitional housing. So this would be a 6-story, 42-unit extended stay hotel is the concept. It's this community meeting was rather contentious, according to our reporters who covered it, including Seth. And
like people being threatened to be ejected from the call.
Yes, there was a couple of people in particular who were, maybe a little rude to to the presenters or whatever. I wasn't on the call, I can't say for sure, but somebody was accused of being, somebody said, look, this is like something you'd see in Beacon Hill, and they liked that, and they said, well, why don't you move to Beacon Hill? And
it's such a Dorchester response.
Absolutely. I've heard that line 1,000 times in my career. At the end of the day, it's probably going to go through. I mean, most of these proposals, as we've discussed, unless there's some real problem with its zoning or the neighbors really are unified against it. But there's a split here. There's clearly folks who spoke up in favor of this idea. They think that this kind of use, as you just mentioned, makes sense for this corner of the neighborhood.
It could be worse. There could be worse things going in there too, I think. Like this probably won't contribute to parking issues because most people who stay in a hotel don't bring a car.
That's true, although people did say, well, where are they going to stop to unload? Because on that street, they'll have to do a bump out or something. That's why we have these meetings, I guess, so maybe the development team can tinker with that and make that bump in work. right now, there's really no place to stop on East Cottage Street,
No.
especially in the wintertime. So I do see where people have an issue with that. But at the end of the day, this the comment period is now over for this project. The Boston Planning Department will most likely take this up at their next meeting in March.
Okay.
And I would expect to see it go through.
All right. Well, we've got another big development coming up that we can talk about. Not in Seven Hill. This is in kind of my area, so Adams Village.
Yep.
And this one I'm annoyed about. So,
Why?
Because, all right, so this is the old American Legion post.
It's the ODP. They call it the ODP, like the old Dorchester heads are going to, the old Dorchester Post, the ODP.
It had a cannon out in front for a long time.
Yeah, it looked like it belonged on like a PT boat or something. And it was the lawn ornament on the front of the, you're right, it was American Legion Post.
I think it kept people out of my neighborhood, actually. They would get to the intersection and be like, oh man.
Right next to the Erie Pub, for folks who are trying to like locate this. The ODP is still there, obviously. This proposal, which just came out today, so this isn't old news, Erin.
Yay.
This is brand new, hot off the press. This involves taking down the ODP building and putting up, I believe it's a 5-story. Do you have that in front of you?
Yeah.
It's a 5-story building with, I want to say, 24 condo units, and then some ground level retail.
24 unit condos, ground level commercial space, and 5 stories. The thing that annoys me, so 4 of these units are meant to be affordable.
Mm-hmm.
When we were told, when they bought this, it was widely spread, at least, that this would be largely senior housing.
That's correct. That's what they told us when they first kind of came around to the neighborhood groups and said, this is what we're thinking, early days, but the development team, I think there's 3 gentlemen involved, including the developer who's named in this story by, it's actually from Universal Hub, and we partnered with them.
Okay.
Douglas Keach, who's from a South Boston developer, in the planning filing with the Boston Planning Department that just came out today, you're right. It doesn't call for senior specific housing.
Nope.
It's commercial, basically market rate, and then the 4 affordable units. So this will be with commercial space such as small shops, cafes, or professional services, according to the filing.
Maybe a podcast studio.
Yeah, I mean that's closer to your house than we are here.
Yeah.
Not as many traffic lights.
I don't know. I mean, I appreciate we need more housing, and I'm fine with them putting housing there. It feels a little bait and switchy to say, like, everybody kind of in that neighborhood was on board, because how do you say no to senior housing? And then
I think it's fair to say, and they're going to have to explain that, and I'm sure they will be asked about that at the community meetings that will happen. There'll be at least one. I'm guessing since this just got filed, it'll probably be in March or April.
Yeah, at our Ashmont Adams one.
And this is also an interesting time in Adams Village because Scobie's just closed across the street.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's another thing we missed during the hiatus period.
Scobie's
is closed with the kind of rather vague explanation that they intend to reopen, but after some renovations, and it's kind of surprising given that you're right. It's pretty new. There's a lot of speculation about what may come next, but we don't. To be candid, we don't have a read on it just yet from the ownership there. But that's going on. You'll remember the Green Hills Irish Bakery across the street from the ODP had also proposed building a 9-unit condo structure going up over a new Green Hills.
Yeah.
That seems to have been stalled out.
Okay.
Not really sure where that stands today, but there was a court dispute over that.
Really?
And one of the abutters challenged their right to build that.
See, this is what happens when I go on break. I don't get any of the tea from you.
We also had a mini break. Unfortunately, we had a little internet sort of takeover that knocked us offline for a couple of days, but we were otherwise still paying attention. Our apologies, by the way, for .news readers who were wondering what's going on. It was one of those classic
Russians.
Yeah. Anyways, we're back, and but this, you're right. Adams Corner, doesn't have a lot of this newer housing. There's some older apartments that are up the street.
Yeah.
So I think actually that the village can stand for some new structure. The ODP doesn't look great, has been well used in a number of years now, and that certainly begs for some. I'm sure people would want to live there. Who wouldn't want to live next to the Erie Pub, by the way?
Yeah. You had their lunches?
Yeah, the place is
so good.
underrated. And,
Yeah.
a lot of folks don't think of that as a food spot, but it is.
And Molinari's is right there too.
Molinari's is another question mark. There's been some talk about them maybe expanding.
Okay.
And there's a lot of work for us reporters to be doing down there in the next
I'll
week.
see you
We
in my
gotta get on it.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Great. Well, there's another one that's opening in that area, which is Surf's Up Cannabis Shop, which actually that's our interview in the next segment.
I'm going to be watching that with great interest.
Yeah. Definitely.
Richie Parsons.
Richie Parsons, friend of the pod. Yeah.
Surfs Up in Dorchester Bay. That's his.
No surfing in Dorchester
No
Bay.
surfing in Dorchester Bay. But
Yeah.
Surfs Up is a play on that, right?
Yes.
From his song?
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
All right.
So when's Seth back? Next week?
Seth is due back on Monday. I haven't heard from him, and he's, I hope, on a beach somewhere relaxing with a umbrella drink and getting his tan going again.
I hope he brings us a relic from the Caribbean.
He's very good with that. He usually has a relic from his attic or something.
All right. Well, I think we're good to wrap. But thank you for coming in on Ash Wednesday.
Happy to do it. And next time I come, I'll have a freshly washed
face.
forehead. Yeah.
That'd be nice. Dot Life is sponsored in part by the Dorchester Reporter, Dorchester's own community newspaper and online home for all things Dorchester at dotnews.com. The Reporter, owned and operated by the Forry family, has been laser focused on Dorchester and the surrounding neighborhoods of Boston since 1983. That longevity and experience shows in its award-winning coverage every week. The Reporter is our go-to source for authentic stories about the people, places, and events that matter most to our daily lives. We are proud to partner with The Reporter and Dot News. And you can support the important journalism provided by The Reporter. Just go to dotnews.com to subscribe today. It's the best deal in town and helps keep our local community journalism alive and well. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dot Life. We are talking about cannabis in Dorchester today, and to join us is cannabis expert and friend of the pod, Richie Parsons. Hey Richie.
Good morning, how you doing?
No guitar today.
No, today's business, Richie.
I can tell. So Richie was here last season. We actually went to your house for a Tiny Dot concert. You are a known area musician and widely known area musician, actually.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was great.
Play my No Surfing in Dorchester Bay, and
That's right.
and we love playing the Dorch Fests as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But there are some surfing references here. So we are surfing in Dorchester.
Yes, exactly. That's the kind of tongue-in-cheek whole thing with Surf's Up Cannabis.
Yeah, very nice. So tell us about you're opening a recreational cannabis store here on Gallivan Boulevard.
Yep, we're in the old Verizon building, and hopefully we'll be open by the beginning of March, depending when this airs, a little after.
Okay.
And it's been a long road, and it's been a lot of work, but it's really paying off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine an industry with less regulation than cannabis.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. You have, compliance and regulations over the top, but
Yeah.
that's what you have to do.
Yeah, of course. So why now? What made you decide to get into to this business?
Well, I've been in cannabis for about 7 years now. I worked at a medical facility in Needham.
Okay.
And it was medical only. And my partner actually hired me for that job. And then when this opportunity arose, she had left that company. I went with her to a community meeting. I wasn't even slated to be, an owner or manager.
Oh, really?
Or no, I just kind of went. And
Like moral support kind of thing?
Yeah, just to check it out because it was in my old neighborhood.
Right.
So it was really interesting. I saw lots of people I knew. She noticed I saw lots of people I know. And then it turned out that, I would be the community face and, general manager of Surf's Up Cannabis.
So for people who don't remember, you grew up on Westmoreland.
Yes.
Which is just a stone's throw from here, and lived there most of your life, right? Until
and yes, my parents lived in the house from 1916 to 2016 when my mom passed, and I was there for my entire time.
And now you're just over the border in Quincy.
Yep. just in Quincy for now, as we say.
Yeah. So was cannabis, is it something that you have personally enjoyed for a long time? Like, what made you decide that was something you should get involved with?
Of course. So I had worked at Newbury Comics for 33 years.
Okay.
Store manager, district manager. It was a lot of fun. And around 2017, I took a buyout.
Okay.
And then maybe 6 months into it, my wife said, "When are you going to get a job?" And just by coincidence, Michelle, who I actually had worked at Newbury Comics with as well,
Okay.
had said she had this opportunity if I wanted to get into the cannabis business and work for a company called Sierra Naturals.
Okay.
So I trained, became the manager, and started running Needham.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my introduction to cannabis. And it was similar. I've been selling used CDs and to old guys, and then selling joints to old guys.
Yeah.
So
same
yeah,
crowd, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I know that especially in this part of Dorchester, it's a little more conservative. There's probably some resistance, and I think having a familiar face certainly helps with kind of easing that, the idea of opening a shop here. How was the community response?
You're right. At first, there was some resistance. There were some people that thought, they'll be selling the pot on Minot Street once they buy it from here. And, we, let them know there's a 20% tax on what they're buying here, and anything they could buy on the street is much cheaper. We're not going to be feeding, that market at all.
Right.
And a lot of the concerns also were about the building, the grounds, how are we going to keep it up? Is it going to be safe? Because it had been abandoned for a couple of years, this building. And that was one of our first things we did was like landscaping, painting, repaving the parking lot. And people really got on board quick once they saw, the work we've put into it.
Yeah, it's really a prime location, great parking right off of Gallivan. It's in a nice spot. And the fact that it was empty, I mean, people want to see businesses have...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the local businesses were most supportive,
Yeah.
like all the way from Neponset Circle down to Adams Corner.
Yeah.
People really excited about it.
So what was the process for you and Michelle when you were thinking about finding a location? I know there's a lot of regulations around proximity to a school and different things like that. Like,
Right.
How did you find this
Well,
spot?
this was the location and the concept that Michelle already had. It had been presented to her.
Okay, got it.
And then I came aboard. So I knew immediately this was a great spot.
Yeah.
Anyone that's come by, any of the vendors or anything, are just really excited by it. And as you said, biggest parking lot in the city of Boston for a cannabis
and super
shop.
accessible right off the highway too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a really nice,
Yep.
really nice spot. What about kind of the public sentiment at large about cannabis? Do you feel like, obviously it's been legal here for 10 years now in Massachusetts. Do you feel like generally people are accepting more than they have been over the last decade?
Yeah, I think a lot of the stigma is like just kind of gone by the wayside. I noticed it at even at some of the meetings when we first started out, and not the same people, but some of the people that were just like didn't want it. All of a sudden, we really let them know what we were about. And there was a woman came up to Michelle and said, "Oh, now I don't have to go all the way to Victory Road. I'll come see you because you're in the neighborhood now." And so it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the health benefits and maybe some of the concerns to cannabis use.
Trained and worked at a medical place for 7 years, and so that was really the piece of it that I liked the most. Was like this is really helping people, and it really was more rewarding than selling someone a CD of your favorite band. It was like you saw these people come in that had some issues, and they came in, they left happy because they knew they had their medicine. Knew they had what will work for them.
Yeah.
And I think I bring that same education to the recreational, even though sure there's people that just want to come in and maybe they're not drinking anymore, but they want to smoke or do whatever they do to make themselves feel better or get a good night's sleep. That's a major thing.
Yeah.
So the education piece of it will be a huge part of what we bring to this place.
I know that you're not a physician or speaking from any sort of like medical expertise,
Exactly.
but what do you see people? Is it like a pain management situation or?
Yes, a lot of pain management, a lot of stress relief. The world is kind of stressful right now, and people aren't sleeping well, and I've had like several back surgeries, and I use CBD and CBN at night. That helps keep me asleep, and I'm a low dose guy. I don't smoke, but I'll use a little vape or I'll take an edible at night for sleep. So it's really, really helpful.
Yeah. Tell us what those things mean. So CBD versus THC.
Oh yeah. Okay. So THC is a psychoactive element. That's
Okay.
what makes you feel high. CBD is anti-inflammatory, and CBN really helps you sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's great. There's a lot of different cannabinoids that we have everything patient pamphlets here that explain all the different cannabinoids and the terpenes. The terpenes are like, when you take a walk in the forest and you smell pine, that's a terpene. That's,
Okay.
So there's an awful lot to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's also like the indica and the sativa strain. Like tell
Right.
us about the difference there.
I guess the reality is an indica plant is short and a sativa plant is tall, but for all general purposes, a sativa is uplifting and focused. So a lot of artists, a lot of people that, creative people during the day can use sativa and, focus and get things done. And indica, I guess the way they explain it is like in the couch. So, you're watching your favorite show, you have an indica and you're done for the night type thing.
Okay.
But everything works different with different people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So what types of products will you be offering here?
Well, let's see. We'll have, just on the broad range, edibles, topicals, concentrates, flower, vapes, and edibles.
Okay.
I think flower, vapes, and edibles would be the main focus for consumers. That's what I found anyway. Yeah.
And there's a lot of security. There's a lot of cameras. There's a lot of protocol that you have to follow. So talk us through, at a high level, like what it required to open things up here.
Well, I wasn't the expert at that. Michelle was, because she's opened a couple of places.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that the amount of cameras is crazy inside and out. And that's another thing the neighbors liked as well. Do you have cameras outside? And, is the parking lot going to be safe and all that? And just like access, even some employees don't have access to certain areas. Depends on, if you're the manager or just a bud tender. But yeah, there's an awful lot of security, and safety is paramount.
Yeah. You've been doing a lot of hiring?
Yes, actually, we're pretty much done, but that was really exciting. We did the Indeed thing.
Yeah.
Got so many responses for stuff, had some great interviews. I've hired my assistant manager, Nate, and he's doing most of the buying, with me, but he's really good at it, and he knows what he's talking about. And our concept for what the menu is going to look like has come together quite nicely. After the Indeed, we did a local job fair type thing, and we hired a bunch of people from that as well. And a few people just walked in, for that, and it was great.
Nice.
Yep.
You've got a nice community element here. So I want to talk about the artwork that's currently on the walls, and then the vision for the future artwork that will be on the walls. So tell us about what are all these images here?
Up front here in the little seating area or consultation area, whatever. Those are actually my pictures from the 70s of the neighborhood. And as you can tell, they're the 70s because of the tube socks.
The short shorts.
The short shorts, and my buddy's wearing a 76 T-shirt over there. So, yeah, when I first got my camera, I was just, I would walk around the neighborhood, and that's what a lot of the photos are that are on our web page as well, are all from that. And, I think it just kind of brings a nice neighborhood feel to it.
Yeah.
Broader look at it is I want the space to reflect like the journey of Route 203, because here we are in Neponset,
Yep.
in Adams Corner. That's where I grew up, and that's where I got this stuff. But 203 is a pretty awesome road, and it, I love nature, and I lived in JP for a while, the pond, the Arboretum, and all the shops from Morton Street across Blue Hill Ave. They'll be represented of those communities as well in other photos.
Yeah.
And hopefully, the concept is that we will have a wall near the back of the store that will be for local artists, that will leave them up for 2 months, maybe 3, so people can display, and I can help, be a better person in the community.
Yeah, do some promotion.
Yeah.
You've also got a lot of hand-painted work in here, the map in the back, which we'll show, and some other things that another friend of the pod, your brother John.
Yeah,
helped you
my
with.
brother John Parsons painting. He did the map of Dorchester Bay and the Neponset River with Squantum Point Park there, and we're going to use that to let. I have some old postcards from my family's collection of neighborhood schools and Franklin Field, Franklin Park, all the origins of all the Olmsted space, and we're going to do some postcards like that up there. But we're also going to let customers put a picture of their dog up, or this is where my house is.
Yeah.
Or, just keep it kind of interactive and fun.
That's really neat. Yeah. I guess talk about for you. You used to work in a place over, you said Needham, right?
Right.
And you worked on Newbury Comics on, Back Bay. You're back home. How important is it to you to have this kind of a connection to your home community?
Geez, every morning I drive down Granite Ave.
Yeah.
And I think, yep, that's the first place I went fishing, on this bridge, the Granite Ave Bridge when I was little. And, I remember with the lumber yard and all the stuff that used to be there. And about 2 weeks ago, I took the corner and I'm driving down. I'm not even quite at the golf course yet. This giant bald eagle comes flying, right over me. And I'm like, wow. I hadn't,
amazing,
you'd not see a bald eagle in the 70s, or 80s in Dorchester. But,
or many places back then.
Right. But it's just great, and, make a couple more stops down Adams Corner than I normally would, to go to the shops there. And, it's fantastic. The commute's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This area is pretty different from when you were younger, although not completely. Do you think it's seeing a little bit of a resurgence?
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing about the neighborhood right now is it's like diversity. It's not just the same. It's lots of different kinds of people, lots of different kinds of shops, and it's really, really thriving.
Yeah. I want to talk about what success looks like and how you would maybe recommend people experience this place, and then maybe any advice you would give to people who are thinking about either starting a cannabis or trying cannabis or starting a cannabis business.
Well, I guess I'll know once things get going, and hopefully they take off and go right through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really enthusiastic and encouraged about how it may go.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm the right person for advice on business. I can put a really good team together and run a shop.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I would say, if you have an opportunity, don't turn it down. Just go for it and do what you want to do,
And what about somebody who hasn't maybe tried cannabis before? How would you recommend they kind of start that?
Well, we'd kind of figure out how they want to consume. Do they want to smoke? Oh no, I don't want to smoke. Okay, there's edibles. Edibles you can really start low and slow. If you're not sure and it's a 5 milligram, cut it in half, cut it in thirds, whatever. But just try it and see how it works for you. And low and slow. I think lots of places that's their motto.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see you fully operational. We don't know exactly the date, but meanwhile, people can keep up with the latest on your website.
Yes, surfsupcannabis.com.
Okay.
They can find out about the background, our history. There's a blog already started, and there's some links to our Instagram account as well to see what's going on with that. And I've kind of been doing a little progress report, every few weeks.
Okay. And you've got this little lounge area that we're sitting in right now. Is this a place where people can maybe consult with an employee about what works for them?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what, I really want more than anything is to have a customer walk in and have an employee there for them.
Yeah.
There are kiosks to do the ordering, and if someone isn't familiar with that, there has to be an employee there to help them through that.
Yeah.
And any questions, they can help them over at the kiosk, or they can sit down and have a chat. I mean, as I said, we have customer pamphlets, information packages, and stuff like that too. If they want to take something home, or it even has a few blank pages on the back where you can write down what you bought, what were the effects, did you like it or not, and keep your own kind of journal. That was something that was big with the in the medical place that I did too. But yeah, I definitely want there to be people here for every customer.
Yeah. And bring your ID, right? Because you need your ID to get in.
Yes, 21 plus.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, we'll look for your opening soon, hopefully, if it hasn't already happened. And I guess just good luck and
thank you.
Thanks for being here.
I think people really enjoy the vibe, the neighborhood vibe, and it's not a typical recreational pot shop.
It's very warm and very local focused, which is really fun.
Cool.
So, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Today's episode is supported by The Record Co., Boston's leading provider of accessible music creation spaces. The Record Co. is addressing a critical shortage of affordable creative spaces in our city, serving more than 4,000 monthly users across 131 communities. They preserved almost 48,000 square feet of professional studio and rehearsal space at rates up to 90% below market value, ensuring Boston's musicians have a place to create regardless of economic needs, through partnerships with Bunker Hill Community College, offering professional certification programs that lead to sustainable music careers. This vital work is at risk. As creative spaces continue to disappear across Boston, the Record Co. needs community support to maintain these essential resources. Their Amplify Boston campaign directly funds space preservation and career development programs. Visit therecordco.org today to donate, to become a monthly supporter, or learn about partnership opportunities. Every contribution helps keep Boston's music ecosystem thriving. The Record Co., creating accessible pathways to music creation since 2010. Welcome back. This week's Tiny Dot concert, we are joined by Melo Green. Hey, Melo.
What's up?
Nice to have you here.
Thanks. It's nice to be here.
Quite a hike up from our tiny neighbors to the south in
And
Rhode Island.
I forgot my backpack.
You did?
No, yeah.
Oh. Do you need it? Do you want to go grab it? And
Yeah,
come back?
I'll run all the way back to Providence. Yeah,
So you are a New England-based artist,
that's right.
which means Providence.
It also means Boston, and it also means Worcester and New Hampshire, and it means I'll hop in a car and play anywhere within 200 miles of where I live. Yeah.
It's the beauty of New England. Did you
Oh,
grow
yeah.
up in Providence?
No, I grew up in Worcester.
Okay.
What else do you want to know about that? Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Did I like it? I liked it as much as any kid likes going to school.
Yeah. Did you pronounce it right?
Yeah, I did my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah. People really struggled to pronounce it through college. Like, I was surprised and shocked with how many people I met across just my college experience they couldn't do, because it was like I went to UMass Amherst.
Okay.
And that's like people that live in Massachusetts.
They're like half an hour from Worcester.
Still couldn't pronounce it all the time. It's just a few outliers. And then it really got crazy this is just when I was at Berkeley, it was like, people are from they're like, the English is not their first language.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, well, you get a pass.
Absolutely.
You can say Worcestershire, and that's fine. That's okay. So yeah, pronunciation was my first challenge. And then my second challenge was just dealing with Worcester. Some people really love Worcester. I don't. Ralph's is really awesome. Ralph's Rock Diner.
Okay.
Is pretty sick.
They have a great plant store.
Yeah, they do. There's a
Seed and Stem.
Yeah, Seed and Stem is really that whole Kelly Square area. As much as it contributes directly to gentrification, and that's horrible. Mm-hmm. It's also a great place.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there's my tribe is from there. I'm part of the Nipmuc tribe.
Okay.
And their territory, our territory is mostly that area.
Okay. Can we talk about plants
Oh my God, we can talk about plants. Absolutely, yeah.
You like plants, and I like plants. We could talk about plants the rest of the evening.
Yeah, I'm a total plant dad. How did you find this out about me?
Every picture of you has plants in it.
Wow, I was only sending that message subliminally, and I feel like I didn't even know.
Most of them, you're like behind a plant.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's a lot of, so I have like, I think I have like 10 or 15 plants.
Okay.
They're all like things that won't die if I forget about them.
Okay.
So like cactuses,
a lot of succulents.
Succulents. You know, I got aloe vera plants up the wazoo.
Yep.
And then
Pothos.
I have pothos plants. Yeah. I recently, my aunt got me a new plant for Christmas, and I don't know what its species is, but I have it, and it doesn't die if you leave it alone for too long. Great.
I've been digging Hoyas lately.
Hoyas.
Yeah.
Hoyas.
Excellent.
Don't know what that is.
So many varieties. There's one that's like really curly. It's called Hoya compacta.
Hoya compacta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I would need to see a picture of it.
I have one. I'll show you. The other thing you and I have in common is DC Comics, because you've got a Superman shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a Batman sticker on my earphones. I love
That's
Batman.
so subtle.
Yeah.
Can I see it?
Probably not. It's really small.
Oh, you have to really turn your head.
It's just my little indicator that
and it kind of blends in with like the okay, but it's there.
But Batman is subtle.
Yeah. So funny enough, he made his way into a song where I was like, basically, the first 4 lines are like, 11. Or I don't remember, but like all these different characters are basically just like a different iteration of Jesus. Like the idea that like, they die and then have to be resurrected. They'll become. Yeah.
Anyway, we should talk about music.
We should. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah. So, what kind of music do you play?
My favorite way of describing my music, especially with the live band, is psychedelic R&B.
Nice.
Which is a term that Amelia Mason from WBUR coined, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone had said it before her, but
Give
just
her
that,
the credit.
that. So I mean, like psychedelic R&B. I love like the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Wonder and like Miles Davis. And I love rock and roll. And I came up in college listening to like Mother and like St. Vincent and like Jeff Buckley, but then I really also love like Radiohead and like Erykah Badu, and I don't know why those are in the same side of the but fine, and like Thundercat and like all those, just sort of they kind of are basically psychedelic R&B. It just, the name was neo soul for a really long time, right? I'm sure someone else has used that descriptor for somewhere in our vast pool of 8 billion people. Someone has had to have described Thundercat as psychedelic R&B in some way.
You've got a little reggae too, I think, at times. I've noticed.
Really?
A little hint, and a
maybe
little.
When I'm playing solo, I've had that. I've had people kind of pick up on that. That is not intentional.
The other one that I think of is Jamiroquai.
Oh yeah, Jamiroquai comes up. Yeah, he's definitely like I must have listened to Virtual Insanity like 3,000 times. Sorry, Mom and Dad. My dad loved the song too. I don't think he was really complaining, but but yeah, that in that music video, anytime it came on, it was just so cool. Yeah.
So it seeped in a little, maybe.
Yeah, it's totally there. It's there forever.
So you've been playing since you were 18, you said?
I've been playing and singing since I was 18. I was in I've been in a couple different bands, quite a few different bands across the years. And I
You went to Berkeley.
I went to Berkeley.
Okay.
I went to UMass Amherst before Berkeley, and I was with this band. We were called Kids on a Hill. They were like, we were all like college friends, and we made sort of like this like funky, man, it's just kind of, that's what I love about the psychedelic R&B term is like, it's sort of the common thread across my whole like time as a musician. Really, like I've always been kind of gravitating towards this synthesis of like those two worlds that sort of like kind of more throwback. Because I think, as a music student, I think a lot of music students, they come up listening to a lot of old music, and that's kind of how they get good, is they like listen to, and I think I'm a part of that demographic where like I grew up listening to so much like older music, and really gravitating towards it, especially in high school, which was like a weird time to not be listening to what was popular. But like I went straight from like early Kanye, which was the good Kanye, and then I think right when he started to fall off was like around like the Diamonds Are Forever kind of thing. That was a cool song, but it was like, okay, I thought
like
you weren't
on the edge.
I thought you weren't a bling rapper. Like, what the hell's going on? So that was like the first sign, I think, if people really think about it.
And then, so you shifted from...
Right then, I was like listening to Miles Davis in the Beatles, in Stevie Wonder, and like in Jimi Hendrix, in Prince, and which wasn't old at the time, but my parents
old. It was older than Kanye.
Yeah, but my parents were giant Prince fans, and so that was like a really, really huge part of my like listening life.
You've got 3 albums out? 2 albums out.
I have 2 albums out.
Okay.
I've got Laminar Flow, and then The Bed I Made, which is an album I made during the pandemic.
Okay.
And I think a lot of us were only making our bed.
And bread.
Yeah, bread. Oh yeah, a lot of people made beds and bread and pies. A lot of people were making pies. I was getting into cooking.
Nice.
I was vegan for a year, and then as soon as I had access to my friends again, I was like,
give me all the meat.
Eat meat when you guys are eating meat.
So you said you're working on a 3rd album.
I am working on a 3rd album. This whole winter I've pretty much been writing, which is again why there's not a lot of gigs right now for me to announce. I'm sure that'll change in the next couple of weeks, but I haven't reached out to anybody. I've just been like just focusing on the writing, and kind of the process is I will write like a couple hundred drafts or sketches, and then about half of those make their way into being songs. Okay. And then like 10 of them become part of the next album.
A very harsh culling process.
Yeah. So I'm getting there where I'm kind of at the end of it now, and I'm almost through all of this, and it sucks. It's not fun. Yeah. It's like after you write the stuff, like the fun part is the writing. It's my favorite thing to do. I prefer it over performing, over all of the things that are music. It's my favorite thing to do. I can generate like, I don't know, I was hanging out with my buddy on Sunday, and like I think I wrote like 12 songs across like 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
They're not all good.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Then they might need some like tweaking. But
yeah. But like it's like, I think I don't know. That's a big part of it, is just kind of like, let me just, write as many things as possible, take some distance from the songs. Are they stuck in my head without me trying to think about it? Yeah. One of those songs is, I won't say its name, and it happened today actually, where I wrote it on Sunday, and it was like still in my head throughout the day, and I didn't pick it up and listen to it at all or anything like that. And
so it means that one's got some legs.
Oh yeah. It's got all of its fingers and toes for sure.
So you are a Pisces.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did your research.
I sure did. But you did an album that was astrology based.
Yeah.
So I had to see what your sign was.
My artist name, yes, is astrology based. Yeah. So there's this book called Color Astrology. Shout out to I Don't Remember Your Name, and I should, because I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews and explaining my name. But Color Astrology, it's easy to Google. You can find the book, and I mean, like, it's cool. It's got anyone's birthday is in there. And it's basically just like a different color on the palette, and then it has a little like blurb about like who they think you are and what you feel, and like that's kind of what drew me to it, was like, cool name. Yeah. Super cool. I don't think anything else in the book sounds as cool as Melo Green. I've like looked, like anytime I'm like on a date or like, on like a 3rd date or whatever, and like I'm like, hey, like, what's your birthday? Like, let's look in
You don't whip out astrology on date number 1?
No, that's no, because that's red flags. It is red flags. And it's like, it's hard to compartmentalize color astrology from like astrology, and I'm like, I don't know you yet. You might run away screaming. But no, I check the birthdays, and then all my friends too, like, and they all
Melo Green, is it?
None of them sound as cool. They're cool colors, or like, but they just, as an artist name specifically, totally.
So what are you going to play for us today?
So I'm going to play Orange and Green. She's My Rock, Laminar Flow, Just Wandering, and All It Took off of my album Laminar Flow.
And that's available
on all streaming platforms.
Amazing.
But in the spirit of totally fuck Spotify, we're gonna say Bandcamp. Buy my record on Bandcamp.
Okay.
That's my strongest vote, because like Apple Music is cool, but like how long is it going to be until we find out that there's some other thing wrong with the person that decided to corporatize or a radio station, right? Like it's going to be the same thing, I think. So Bandcamp is great because all of the money goes to the artist who put all the hard work into creating the music, except for like, I don't know, it's like 3 or 4% of the money. It goes to Bandcamp, so they're way less greedy, and they still probably live really beautiful, rich lives. So like, I don't know, as like, you know, Billie Eilish said, like, if you're a billionaire, like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like,
what
why?
do you do with all the money?
Why?
Yeah.
What? Like, there's so much like wealthiness that's between that and a millionaire. It's like you could be a millionaire and not screw people over in this paradigm we're in. Like, I don't know. So anyways, that's my thought on it. Buy it on Bandcamp. I mean, like, the streams won't hurt. It matters too, but I like being able to pay my bills. So yeah.
And you've got a beautiful guitar, so let's
Oh yeah.
let's get that guitar.
Oh yeah.
Do some playing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
Cool. What's up, y'all? I'm Melo Green, and this is Orange and Green. Colors, I see no ordinary shade. Sunlight drips from my mind. On this rainy day, I feel like flowers blooming off in space. Echoes vibrant music illuminate the gray. I see orange and green, quite a relief, 'cause I've been weary, so very calm and healing. Takes flight on the astral plane. Oh, it feels like I'm dreaming, floating all the way to the ceiling, so very calm and healing. Who would have thought we'd be orange and green? Silence, such peace, it washes over me. Waterfalls blazing our minds, serendipity echoes throughout the caverns of my heart. I feel free and full of sunlight. I see orange and green, quite a relief, 'cause I've been weary, so very calm and healing. Takes flight on this astral plane. Oh, it feels like I'm dreaming, floating all the way to the ceiling, so very calm and healing. Who'd have thought we'd be orange and green? Yeah. This next tune is Just Wandering. Yeah. Also off my record, Laminar Flow. You can find it on all streaming platforms. Yeah. I was afraid that you'd steal my empathy to make your trees grow. And I'm not surprised that you throw my empathy into a black hole. It's my fault, but yours are really more than the heartbreak. You came along and bore through my broken glass like a comet, burning me up inside. Oh, fever dream, now I am hollow. It's my fault, but yours heavy up more than the heartbreak. And I'm good, just so you know. I'm not lost, I'm just wondering. It's my fault, but you're lost. My fault, but you're lost. I'm waving up more than a heartbreak. Just so you know, I'm not lost. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. I'm just my fault. You're lost, and I'm waiting up more than a good time. And I'm good, just so you know. I'm not lost, I'm just wondering. That's that one. It's about that stuff. Cool. It's so cool to be here and to get to play this stuff. My music. This is my first gig of the year, really. Actually, funny enough. So, Happy New Year. You're the sun, always shining brightly behind the clouds. I'm the moon, your light shines through me when you're around. You make me feel free as the birds, I can spread my wings. Cool is the breeze of your voice when I hear you sing. Oh, oh. When she smiles, all my wounds begin to fade, illuminating my heart and soul remain. I can't complain. She's my rock. Ooh. She's my rock. Ooh, ooh. Strange how you can reveal all the truth in me. Change, I'm not the same as I used to be. I'm so afraid, feel that who I am might drive you away. So tonight, I promised myself I won't hide again. When she smiles, all my wounds begin to heal, illuminating my heart and soul, reveal the way I feel. She's my rock. She's my rock. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, she's my rock. Ooh, she's my rock. Ooh, yeah. She's my rock. This one is the title track of my album. It's called Laminar Flow. Help me to get acquainted with your intentions, dirty and tainted. All alone and we're bathing, this is perfection. I'm overtaken, overwhelmed by your beauty. Cover me in your love, baby, you move me. I'm diving into you really, 'cause you are my reservoir. Baby, I'm thirsty, 'cause I need you like the water. And I need you like the air I breathe. And I need you like the sun. You and I, there's everything. Close my eyes and I feel you passing through my lips. I want to always be near you. You're in the air that I'm breathing, and you've taken my breath away now that you're leaving. Come back to me and visit my every surface. Baby, you are my summer wind. I pay attention to the weather so that I know when I can next receive your blessing. 'Cause I need you like the air I breathe. And I need you like the water too. And I need you like the sunlight. Carry me away with you. Let's get lost in the light. You and I don't need the sun in the dark of night. Endless glow, there's no time. We must surrender to the heavens and the sunlight. I need you like the water. Oh. Thank you. All right, this is my song, All It Took. I really miss the man that I used to be. When my mind wasn't lost, and my heart was free. You were too blind to see I had become all the things that you taught me to be. All it took was being treated right. All it took was being loved, loved, loved. Didn't need to make a sacrifice. What the fuck was all the voodoo worth? She never do me dirty like you would. Lied in my face, put me down just because you could. You'd pretend you were joking, I hope you choke on every wandering guy. All it took was being treated right. All it took was being loved, loved, loved. You didn't need to make a sacrifice. What the fuck was all the voodoo worth? You don't need to sing me lullabies, 'cause your voice was always out of tune, just like your heart. She never kissed me goodbye, but always kissed me hello. She never called me at night, but let me know what's going on below. She bought me flowers, but never held my hand. She never fell in love with me. I guess she's into those one-year stands. I can't stand, no. I can't stand.
I thought that I was your man. All it took was being treated right. All it took was being loved, loved, loved. You didn't need to make a sacrifice. What the fuck was all the voodoo worth? We did it.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to Dot Life, which is available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Dot Life is produced and edited by me, Aaron Caldwell. Technical support is provided by Yasser Mahmoud. Additional support is provided by the Dorchester Reporter and the Record Company. Thanks to Richie Parsons, Bill Forry, and Melo Green for joining this week's show. Thank you for listening, and we'd love it if you could share, subscribe, rate, and review the pod wherever you listen. If you're interested in supporting the podcast, visit .lifepod.com for more information.